happy to announce a new addition to the family. You ready for a little cute overdrive? All right, hang tight. I warned you, you're going to get it. Look at that muffin. That is Prince Charles, also known as Charlie. And we got him delivered on Thursday. A whole lot of work. Those of you with puppies, it's like, having a toddler. Gotta watch over them 24/7. Now, I've been reading that puppies will sleep 18 to 20 hours a day. Not that one. He probably sleeps 10 hours a day. So there's no break for the weary. It's amazing how much he has sort of changed our lives. But he's going to be a fantastic dog. That is a Cavapoo, 2/3 King Charles Cavalier and a third poodle. Anyway, it is June the 9th. I know that you are watching this specifically for puppy updates, but there you got it. Quick reminder that everything we do here is for informational and educational purposes only, not intended as investment advice. So what's moving the markets? Chinese and US officials are meeting in London today. I don't know how long the meetings will last. If we can get something hammered out that mutually makes sense, both countries walk away feeling like, they're dealing with an ally. That'll be great for the stock market and could be an instant catalyst to move the market higher. So we're keeping a close eye on that. S&P is only 3% off of its all-time highs. So, it's amazing how many people I will bump into who think that the market's collapsed. It's 3% off of its highs. Inflation expectation, they fell in May about 0.4%. When consumers were asked where they thought inflation would come in last month, it was 3.6%, and now 3.2%. Inflation's actually running less than that, but John Q. Public is always at a panic. 10-year Treasury, pretty steady at 4.484%. And oil price has been ticking up almost to 65. So nice for my options on Chevron. Market breadth last week, new highs on the New York Stock Exchange, 188, new lows, 83. You see for the week a lot more, advancers than decliners. It's a great thing, about 2-to-1. And then the highs versus lows about 2-to-1. Same kind of percentages on the NASDAQ, 32.15, one higher, 15.11 lower, and about 2-to-1 on new 52-week highs versus 52-week lows. So all of that, great. So this is kind of where we are, how we did in the last week over here with the S&P. Oil was up, gold was up a little bit, and then year to date, boy, the big winner year to date it's been gold. An ETF that owns gold is GLD. I don't know that gold hasn't already run away, but if you want to have some in your portfolio, and you'll notice it's kind of interesting outside of Bitcoin, which of course, in the last 5 years has skyrocketed. But the return on gold and oil and the S&P, look how similar those returns have been. Very interesting. Last week's big winners, and this is on semiconductor. They're up 19%. Dollar General, almost 17. Micron, about 15. Microchip, Arista, Nucor, Norwegian Cruise Lines shows you people at the top are spending money. Best Buy, ditto, right? Going and buying those electronics. Um, BXP and Airbnb. So good week for those stocks. What to watch this week? Not a super heavy news week, I will tell you. Wholesale inventories, that's not going to change anything in the market. Small business optimism is supposed to tick up a little bit. We are going to get CPI number. So month over month, supposed to go up 0.2%. Year over year, supposed to go from 2.3%, 2.5. How about on the core? The core only about on an annualized basis, 0.1% higher. Initial jobless claims, see how that comes in. Then you got the producer price index. That is inflation at the wholesale level, kind of important. Year over year, last print on the core was 2.9%, very similar to the CPI number. And then we have consumer sentiment coming out. We'll see how people are feeling about things. When people are happy, they spend money. We're expecting a strong earnings moving forward. Look at this. So we've been revising upward for the next 12 months earnings projection. Last week's heat map, whole lot of green. There was some bright red, unfortunately. Tesla down 14%, in spite of the fact that, Elon is supposed to be spending, his time with his businesses now and away from politics. You think that'd be, great for the company. We'll see how that plays out. Some of the uh, financial data companies are down. The big money center banks had a good week. Video was up 4%. So all in all, solid. Year-to-date returns, S&P 500 up as of this morning, 2.12%, led by industrials, communications, utilities, staples, financials, materials, REITs, and tech are all in the green. The only thing in the red, healthcare, energy, and they're just slightly red. Consumer discretionary is down 6.74%, so it's taken a bit of a hit. Jobs get a big beat. So the government job creation number came out. They're expecting it to be down here, and it popped. So that's fantastic. Market sentiment hasn't really improved much. Historically, when they ask independent investors, what do you think the market's going to do over the next 6 months? 37.5% say higher, 31% say lower. Where are we at now? 32.7% higher. We've kind of been stuck in this range for a while, and 41.4% say lower. I'm telling you, the lower is wrong. How much is the Fed going to cut rates, or when are they going to cut? So the first forecasted rate cut now is for September, and the next one in December. If we get 2 rate cuts this year and we don't go into a recession, and I don't see that happening, we should do really, really well. Sector returns year to date, we covered that. Not sure why I covered it for you twice, but hey, let's check the charts. See what's happening. I want to look at the S&P 500, and there is our 6-month chart. So we have broken above this level right here. So that's kind of cool. The next real target will be up here at about 6150. Right now we're over 6,000. So, again, about 3% away, a little less than that from that all-time high. If we get above that, we could be off to the races. But, you look at this lower trend line, And there you go. Are in pretty darn good shape. Now, we're still in a news-driven market. Things, fall apart with us in China. All bets are off. But for the moment, we're looking good. All right, gang. Well, I hope you have a splendid week. I'll be back next week for another report on on the stock market and the other related financial news. Have a blessed week. Bye for now.